Hey, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or whatever time you're listening to this. So this is a new frontier for us of the We Are Indigenous podcast. This is the We Are Indigenous podcast COVID-19 edition. Yeah, so just like as everyone right now, we are also dealing with what's going on. And so we figured it would be great to just kind of talk about it and give you students and people updates on what we're doing as an institution, as a college, and as a department at Fanshawe. So today, our get we were planning to do a podcast with Chris here under different circumstances, but we figure why not this be the perfect one? She can update everyone on what's going on at the center. So today's guest is Chris Hanna. She is our, what is your title now, Chris?
I am an academic advisor.
Okay, academic advisor. They're always changing the names on us, so we always have to kind of literally ask, like, what's your title now? But yeah, so just Chris, briefly, can you just tell people what your role is at the Indigenous Institute of Indigenous Learning / First Nation Center / FNC?
Yeah. So my role is to, to kind of work with all current students, regardless of what campus they're at, and help students, I guess, with problem solving mainly. So I'm pretty up on all of the academic side of how your courses work and what it might mean if, you're maybe not doing good in one. And so I can help students kind of navigate the college system. If your finances are maybe not the best and you're struggling a little bit there, or if you need childcare, or if you need extensions and maybe accommodations, and how all of that can, how we can support you really through your academics as you're dealing with all of those challenges. So that's a little bit of what I do. It's different every day because what students come to me with every day is totally different. So I like that part of it.
Nice. And how long have you been at the college for?
So I started in August of 2015. So I guess almost 5 years now.
You're gonna get that pin soon.
Yeah, I will.
Your 5-year pin. I actually didn't even show up for my 5-year pin. I got it in like a month later, like the pin, and I was like, oh, great. Okay, Chris, just so we're got a couple topic areas for everyone today. So the first couple actually are just going to give you guys updates, and Chris being the academic advisor at the center and the Institute of Indigenous Learning, she's going to kind of just relay some updates on the school, what we're doing as a department, and then even more specifically how we can help as a department. That also includes who to contact in the center. And yeah, so basically, and all the stuff Chris is talking about, we're going to post in the description so you guys can have links and stuff to that. But I guess kind of, Chris, what are the updates at the school with the center, all that?
Yeah, so hopefully everybody knows by now that most of your courses have been shifted online. So that would have started, I think, 2 weeks ago now. So we had a week off where the academic side could kind of figure everything out and how they were actually going to manage that. But now at this point, all of those courses should be online. Your teachers should be, if they've got any like live lecture or content like that, then it should be staying during the same time slot. So that's important to note. Although I think a lot of teachers are recording those things in case your internet kind of cuts in and out. And if that's a problem, then I would suggest like just reaching out to them, letting them know, so that maybe they can put up a different format for you. For the in-class kind of more lab hands-on courses, they originally were going to be starting on April 6th because COVID kind of keeps changing. We actually don't have a date for when those are going to start up again. So that's something that you'll have to kind of keep your eye on your email, on your FOL email. That's kind of the way that they're sending out all of this information as it evolves. So that's important to keep your eye on, if you're in PSW program or welding or, something like that, that's very hands-on where you have to be in class for. As far as services around the college, pretty much everything is still running functional, but it's all online. or you can access through phone as well. So, I mean, if you had a counselor and you'd like to access counseling, you can call in and set up an appointment there, or you can send them an email and set up an appointment. Dan might have a little bit more information about that since he was doing placement up there.
So basically, the way the Council on Accessibility office is run right now, it's all virtual. So it's kind of the same way. You'll contact Council on Accessibility, and if you need help to contact them, you can also speak to Chris or myself or whoever at the center, and we can connect you. And it's gonna be just kind of normally how they would. They're booking 1 hour visits with students. So you'll contact the counseling main office, and then they will connect you to, so if you're a prior student who's been there, they'll probably reconnect you to the counselor that you've already been visiting or have seen. And if not, if you're a new one, they'll set up it, and then so it's going to you can either choose option of telephone, or you can do teleconference. So kind of like what we're doing right now, you can do kind of face-to-face virtually, and that's through WebEx, and everything is obviously kind of very secure up there. Like they're using a program that has a very secure VPN or whatever it's called, just to, keep up with the confidentiality piece of when it comes to counseling. So that's just kind of like updates of the counseling office there.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks. Right. And then I know if any of you were accessing like the Learning Center, or if any of you would like to access support through the Learning Center, I know that is still running. They've got a schedule for like specific math help or specific writing help. If any of you are interested in that, you should be able to find it online. But if you need some help finding that, you can reach out, and I've got access to that information. Library is still functional, although they're working remotely. If you need any support with research, I know that they're running like web conferences right now and different workshops. I think they're also running workshops for co-curricular record. If any of you are interested in, I guess, maybe finishing that up, or getting a couple of co-curricular record credits for yourself there. And then there's a whole fact page on the website, and it's called Information About COVID-19. So if you go to the fanshawe.ca website, at the top bar, I think it's in like orange, you can click on it and answer all sorts of questions for yourself there, for more general things about, like, where you can get tested, or like it gives you information about Fowler Kennedy if you're depending on them for your healthcare needs, answers questions about, students and tuition and stuff like that. If you're looking to withdraw, or if you are looking for some extra supports, definitely reach out to me, and we can talk about what that might mean, what that might look like. And then if you need any, I guess, like suggestions on how to functionally be an online student, I know it's a massive change for lots of you and really, really challenging. You can reach out to me or Holly or Jamie or Keesis, and any of us can kind of support you with that. I know I've been supporting a couple of students with assignments, and Jamie and Keesis are also able to do that as well.
Awesome. Cool. So does that kind of cover, I guess, individually at the department, who helping who, I guess, with the stuff? So you talked about yourself, you're helping students with academics, same with Jamie and Keesis. Is there anyone else at the center that could be useful to helping students?
So Holly may have reached out to you. So Holly's been, I know, checking up with some students, some of our regulars. If you need someone to check up with, she's a really good resource. She's super friendly, and I'm sure she'd love to hear from you. As far as academics go, I mean, I think you could really come to any door in the center, like shoot any of us an email, and I think we'd all support you. Or if it's really not our forte, like if you come to me with anatomy, that's totally not me. I would send you to Jamie for that. But, I don't think there's any wrong door at this point.
Mm-hmm. And then what about students that may be looking for help with what job prospects would be after all this?
Yeah, so jobs, definitely, Brian. If you're feeling like, maybe aren't in the right program for you, and you're kind of really feeling it right now, or if you're looking to secure some work. Brian's your guy. He loves that stuff.
And then for all incoming students too, you guys can always reach out to me because I kind of cover all the recruitment stuff. So if there's still concerns, or for all you incoming students, whether you're coming from high school or you're coming back from second career or anything like that, I know there's probably a lot of questions about what's going on in September. So just kind of rolling how it goes. So whatever help you need in terms of that aspect, you can always kind of come speak to me too. All right, so I think that kind of covers all of the updates. Do you think?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, cool. And so again, we're going to post a link on the description too of all the information that's going to be important and vital to you guys. So kind of third topic area was going to kind of be the heart of our discussion today on the podcast is, let me get my notes. So what have you been doing to keep busy during all this? What are, kind of strategies you're trying to implement? Just whatever you want to kind of lead to. How are you handling this COVID pandemic?
So, I really need structure in my life. Otherwise, I turn into this mess of a human.
Okay.
So this has actually been challenging for me, honestly. It's been tough. I'm fortunate enough that I can work from home, and I didn't lose my job. But so I try to make sure that I wake up every day and log in every day between 8:30 and 4:30, and I'm available during that whole time. Yeah. I've got this list. I've got a whiteboard in my kitchen that usually has all my groceries on it. But since I started working from home, I kind of changed it, and it's all of these things that I think will help me that I should try to do every day. Yeah. So on my list, I've got shower before work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no.
Because that's it helps me just, I don't know, function, because I shower every day before I go to work, right? So I'm still working, so I need that kind of routine. And then it's, I'm going to try to call somebody every day, or talk to somebody that, I don't live with every day.
I have similar stuff too. I, the shower stuff, that was kind of right before we went into, we were going to work from home, and even maybe that night before was kind of reading strategies to how to properly work from home, right? Because I think most people are working from home, just you wake up, you roll out of bed in your jammies, and you just hop on, and it's they're no, you can't do that. You need structure. You need to know. Even I'm working at home, I'll take showers and I'll throw jeans on, or khakis, or whatever it is, but I have to be in clothes I would normally wear for work. And yes, I would wear this to work normally too, also, but still, relatively, I truly even a couple of days I wore the Fanshawe art polos and stuff, just because you want to be in that idea of this is work, and you're trying to create this space of I'm at home, but I still need to be in work, right? And then when 4:30 hits, that's when I'll go change and put in my comfy clothes or whatever, right? Or even just throw on shorts, and it's just that idea of keeping it separate, right? Shower routine. And I think you said the routine thing, you're a big person that's need routine. I'm pretty good with the flow, but even with this, I knew I needed to make routine. And I was even reading articles, and this is kind of a little bit dark, but they talked about people that were in POW camps, war and stuff.
Yeah.
The ones that survived mentally and were able to make it through were the ones, even though they were in this terrible kind of prisons, and they're prisoners of war, it's the ones that made routine even in that day, right? They would wake up, they would have a routine. It's just that routine keeps you sane. That's part of it, right? Because if you kind of lose track of a routine, I know even one day my mom's what is today? I was it's Friday, right? And I think if you don't stick in a routine, that's part of it, right? You kind of lose you can really get lost in what's going on, right? So
I just find it so easy to lose time, if you're not really actively paying attention. A big thing for me is this is so stupid, I hate doing my hair.
Yep.
But I was making a point of doing my hair for work every day, right? Because that's a normal thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good at it, and it's not something that I like learned growing up. So anyways, this is me becoming an adult. I'm doing my hair every day for work. And even though I've like shifted to online, you know, I've definitely hit the yoga pants train.
Yeah.
But I still do my hair every day.
That's
You
good.
know, because
Yeah.
for me, that's like, I have to do
Yeah.
that so that I feel like, no, this is work time. On the
Yeah. Yeah.
weekend, I don't have to do my
Yeah.
hair, but every like
Yeah.
Monday to Friday, I'm doing it.
Yeah. I wore track pants Friday though. I was like, yeah, it's Friday. It's casual.
Casual Friday, living it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. So so who are you quarantining with? I know the answer, but like I just, you know.
Yeah, so I'm not totally on my own.
Yeah.
I'm married, so I'm bunkering down with Brennan.
Yeah.
So he's a nurse actually, so he's kind of he's still in and out doing his regular thing. So I mean,
And how is that for you guys being in close
like
court, like all the
cooped
time
up
though?
together.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's been nice. Like
Yeah.
I really can't complain. And he, like, I don't know, like I live in a 2-bedroom apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a balcony, but it's not like I have any outdoor space. So it's like a small living area. So I mean, like, I guess like throughout our marriage, we've always kind of lived in small places. So kind of being like on top of each other all the time it's
Yeah.
like pretty normal for us. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think like the big change is that like we would go out with friends like, I don't know, at least once a week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's been a big change, is just to not go and, you know, go over to somebody's house or, you know, go out for dinner with somebody. Like that was something that we did pretty regularly. And then another big thing is like, you know, we used to go over to his parents' place, I think at least once a week.
Yeah.
So that's been a big change to kind of just break it up a little bit between just the two of us. But I don't
Yep.
know, it's been nice. I
Yeah.
like that dude.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good.
It's
That's
easy.
good. So you guys aren't
Yeah.
going to be the one of the COVID couples ending up in divorce then?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I
Two of the main outcomes of COVID are definitely going to be divorce rates and pregnancy rates.
Yeah, I think so. I think it helps that he's
Yeah.
like kind of on his regular schedule though, you
Yeah,
know? So
that's
like
good. Yeah.
I'm here all the time. Like
Yep.
honestly, it's been like I've left the house, like I pick him up from work.
Yep.
So like he'll walk to
Long
work.
drive.
I know. Yeah. We live very close to where he works. So like he'll walk to work, but I'll pick him up after. And I think part
Mm-hmm.
of it's also just so that I get outside every once in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it's just like, other than that, I think I've literally left my house 3 times
Yeah.
in the last month.
That's pretty. That's not a lot at all.
No.
Yeah, for me, mine is a little bit different. I'm not with my partner. She's a nurse as well. But she's on a floor that there's possibly gonna be COVID patients there. And it's hard. It's hard being away from a person you're in love with and your best friend, and it's difficult. But we really try to keep in contact in terms of as much as we can, like FaceTime, all that kind of stuff. Try to create some normalcy to the relationship still. It's definitely hard being apart, especially with someone you've grown to like really enjoy being with.
Yeah.
And then for myself, like I have roommates. That's what I'll call it. But like no, it's when I started the job at Fanshawe, my parents I just wanted to get them off the res. So I pitched this idea of us buying a house together, and so I live with my parents, right? And they're up there in age. They're not totally elderly, but you know, my dad's 71, turning 72. My mom's in her 60s. So there's that factor too. So I'm really cautious of, you know, and that's the reason why Melissa is not coming out here, is because she doesn't want to put them at risk, right?
Mhm.
And because my dad's diabetic and had heart surgery before, and all those kind of things, right? It's just like we don't know. That's the thing with this, is like we don't know. And I think as younger people, we need to realize that there is a lot of vulnerable people in our society. So it's our best to actually adhere to these kind of social distancing rules and guidelines or whatever you want, right? And it is hard. Like that's another big message too, is like it is hard. This is like a very hard thing. This is uncharted waters for collectively as a society as a whole, right? I don't even
Totally.
like who would have thought that 20 I knew when Kobe died, like this year was going to be shit. And it's like, it's been a very emotional year. Like it's been brutal. And I think of that, and I was talking to my brother, my adopted brother out in BC, and they're having a time out there. But he said, like, I've been fine. I've been sleeping like crap. Like I don't sleep well at all.
Yeah.
Even last night, I didn't fall asleep till like almost 3, and like I just like lay there, and I'm in bed before 11, and I laid there for 4 hours, right? And then I'll wake up like almost every hour, and it's just like terrible sleep. Like I'm probably not with my partner, who I'm always used to sleeping by. But it's what's going on. It's the uncertainty of all this. Like the this is a collective trauma that we're going through.
Totally. Yeah.
And a lot of people are having trouble sleeping, and the people like what. This article's talking about why. Don't know the name of the article, forget it offhand. So I'm sorry, if I can find it, I'll share it. But it's like that idea of, why aren't people are understanding why they can't sleep or all these things, and it's because we're all going through grief, and we don't realize it. Like this is kind of this idea of like, this is what's happening. We have to stay at home, all this stuff. And you're like, oh, well, I guess that makes sense. But you don't understand the underlying issues. Like this is like a grief. Like this is a loss to our lives. Like this daily routine, like you and Brennan going out, having dinner with friends or visiting his parents. Like that's like a big loss. It's a lost routine. Like even myself, like seeing Melissa doing all this stuff, like that's a huge loss. And then on top of that, like, I'm worried for my parents, and just like as everyone who has parents that are older, like they're worried for them, and and then also me, like I'm the person that's going out to get groceries. I'll bring I think my mom, like I also try to bring my parents out like separately, just to give them a break from each other, also, but also bring them out, but also because they need it, right? This is like this is tough for them. Like my parents are used to going out, driving ever, going to the States. And like I told them, like, I was like, yo, I don't think we can go to Michigan for like over a year. And like this is like a normal thing. Like they would go to Michigan like twice a week. Like, and my dad always used to joke, like he's like, oh, like your mom wants to go over again. He would like be all disgusted. But like even for him, like it was a routine, and I think he misses it, right? There's moments of like, like when I talk to my mom, it's just like, how are you doing? How are you feeling? And she's having a bad day and she starts crying. And it's like, it's okay to cry. Like, it's okay to feel like this. And then my dad gets really quiet, and I try to, but like, he's that old school generation where it's like, I'm not going to talk about my things. And so it's like really trying to, do it in a kind way and kindly address it and be like, Dad, it's all right to like be sad if you're sad. It's all right to release it if you need to. And he's like, nope, I'm okay. And he's not, because he's really quiet more than usual, and it's all these kind of things. And yeah, this is something, right? I guess that's like the best way to put it, right?
It's just
I never,
tough.
yeah,
Like it's just so tough. Yeah, and I mean like I've been dealing with a lot of personal stuff over the last few years,
yep,
with health and family stuff, and whatever. Like it all kind of adds up. But then I mean, like probably a week ago, maybe not even. Like I just, I'm really grateful for Brennan, but I feel bad for him because I had like a massive, massive meltdown, and
mm-hmm.
I think it's just the added stress of this. It's the added
Yeah,
stress of like being cooped up, and not being able to like see my friends, and not being able to go out. Like I like being at home, but I wouldn't really consider myself like a homebody.
yeah,
So it's kind of like the added stress of seeing the news every day, and seeing those headlines and worrying about, my parents and worrying about my own health and worrying about Brennan's health. It's just,
Yep.
it's so stressful, and it really just like heightened everything else that I'd already been dealing with. And I think that that's unfortunately gonna, happen to a lot of folks as they kind of deal with this. So I don't know.
No, it's yeah, and like, this I think this is a good conversation to have, because we haven't been able to kind of have a conversation either, right?
Yeah, no, not really.
and that's another thing. That was like another normal thing that we would do, was just conversations with each other. And we're doing work, but sometimes it would be like, we get to a half hour to just kind of chat and catch up. And even before this, right, we haven't been able to talk much in the last like 6-8 months, right? Because we're just so busy with work, right? So and it's kind of a crappy part too. So I also think, like, as bad as this is and how overwhelming it can be, and how like it caused, like, I also kind of needed this too, in a way.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I feel you.
Like, it's, like, I kind of get annoyed when people are like, if you come out of this and you don't pick up a hobby or a skill, like, you wasted your time. And it's like, but what if you go at 110 all the time, and you've been going on E for 6 months? Like, maybe you need this time just to kind of not go so hard, right?
Totally.
And it's gonna be like, and guys probably gonna be listening, like, what does that mean? Like, no, it just means, I'm willing to do what I need to do. But like, like, I look at what I've done for the job for over 6 years now. It's like, I gave it like everything for so long, and I was just so worn down. Like, even before this, like, just mentally, physically, emotionally, everything. And it's just like, this is kind of like, I look at it as this, like, I hope this is going to be a nice reset,
Yeah. Like, so recently I've had a hard time sleeping, like maybe the last few days. But before that, man, it was like I was catching up on sleep, because there were less worries somehow. Just because there wasn't like the work worry, and there wasn't, like a lot of like personal issues have kind of faded away, because it doesn't matter, because I'm not seeing those people right now. Like, so a lot of that has faded away, and it's also kind of helped me refocus on, like, what, I do want to be spending this much time with Brennan, so like, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean for me? Like, what am I going to do now that I
sounds like guys gonna lose some employees? That's what it means. No, I'm just kidding. No,
oh my
but
God, just panic.
It does, it puts life into perspective a little bit, and that's funny, is that I'm going to say this on a podcast for a Fanshawe, but it's like, no, it's just, it really does, like, it's like, what do I value in life? And it's like, I always used to think money is like a place of value, even though I didn't want it to be, but it wasn't. And to me, it's like, that's like, that don't mean shit,
Yeah. Right.
Like, what I value is like my parents, Melissa, her family, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's family, it's like people, it's like individuals. And like, hey, I get it, we're a capitalistic society and all that, but like, like, I hope this brings people together, and I hope it shifts how we are as a political ideology in countries and in the world. Like, this has no prejudice like COVID. There is there is nothing that, like, maybe you got money, you can get mask and that, but like, really, like, you could still get it. Like, and I think that makes you notice like how vulnerable we are as humans, and how we're not above everything as we've thought we are.
Yeah, and I think like this illness kind of, like, it cuts across economic lines, like, rich people are dying too. Maybe at a lesser rate, who knows, but like, it's still like, it's it's hurting people everywhere, right? Kind of regardless of circumstance. So it's kind of interesting.
I mean, for me, I think it's gonna really make me value what has made me value relationships and just connecting with people. And I've always kind of big proponent of that, but for me also, it's just kind of like, man, maybe money isn't all that important, right? Even though this society makes it, right? And it's that idea of like, get a job, create wealth, and then like all this, and buy a home, buy this, do this, do this. And it's just like, oh, it's so, in the grand scheme of things, is unimportant.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like if I lost my job, like I'd be like, whatever, But if I lost my parents or I lost Melissa, like that would be like, for anyone in my family, that is like, you can't. The job, you can go find another job. Economy crashes, I honestly don't think the economy ever, like, there'll never be like a 1930s stock market crash. Like, it just, this world is too dependent.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. This world is too dependent on this kind of economy. It just won't happen. Like, there's no way governments will ever let it happen. And this is where I get my tinfoil hat too, where it's just like, oh, like the Canadian debt is going up, and it's like, to who? What are we like? Who's this debt to? And all that. So I think for me, it's a reset. It puts value onto what is important in my life. Obviously, my work is a big importance of it, but for me, it's been a nice little break too. And I will pick up a hobby also during this. I bought new equipment, podcast equipment. So, on top of doing this one, I'm going to do probably non-video ones for the center as well, and different things like that, even in personal podcasts and stuff. Like, I always wanted to do a podcast with my dad. And so, that would be nice. So we're actually this is going to be like, I think, a joint partnership with Brian McMahon and Indian Cowboy Podcast Network. Like, we're going to have that podcast with me and my dad on it. And it's going to be titled Roy. That's it. Like, just my dad's name, Roy, and it's going to be the Roy podcast. So,
I love that so much.
Yeah, it's going to be like my dad. Like, he's so cool. His stories, like his, how he grew up and being raised in Detroit. Like, there's a lot of cool stories out there, and like, it's part of like this thing too. Is like, time is so fragile. So it's like, I'd want these stories to last forever, And I think this is like one way to do it.
Like, if this takes off, Roy's gonna feel like everybody's dad.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be awesome. People just come up to him on the street, Roy.
Yeah. We'll be like, become celebrities and get famous, and we'll have like live shows and all that stuff.
Yeah, in the booming metropolis of your little town.
Yeah. So another thing too, I'll ask, because I think this would be a good topic to kind of talk about, but because me and you both are students right now too, and it may help with our students too at the college and dealing with it. And how has we're online based already, but given that, there's still now we're dealing with all these life circumstances. Like, how has been completing school, your coursework for you been?
Like, it's been really tough, actually. I think especially in the beginning, for the first couple of weeks, I was just having a really hard time focusing on like getting through the readings and getting through the content. And yeah, like it didn't stop for us, they didn't give us extra time at all. So, so that was really tough. And then I was finding it really hard to, sit on a computer all day for work and then have to go and sit on a computer after to try to get my schoolwork done. Like, and essentially like in the same spot, like I'm setting up on my kitchen table. I've been here for weeks. So that was tough. But I actually, so our class officially ended on Sunday, but me and my group asked for an extension for our final project. So we got another week to work on it.
Awesome.
Yeah. And,
are you guys doing an essay or
no.
PowerPoint?
So PowerPoint. Originally it had to be an essay, right? But then they allowed us to make the change, and we just thought it would be more manageable. I think like everybody in my group was feeling that way, like it was just too much.
Yeah. My group was persistent. We got it done Saturday.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So we got it all done, but I still have to do my discussion for this week. But that's the thing too, I think, for students is like, there's going to be exams and stuff, but like, like if you just reach out to your professor and tell them you're struggling and say like, can I get another few days for whatever, like there is going to be a willingness on their part. Like, we're all in this. Like, it's totally understandable, right?
Yeah.
And I get it too. Like, I get the idea of like going through this, and it's hard to try to focus sometimes, but it kind of goes against what I just said earlier. Like, what is valuable to? But this is, as students, this still is a value, right? And this kind of goes back to what we talked about at the beginning about creating a routine, right? You still need to kind of create that routine, because even though it may be a pain in the ass and you're just like, oh, like I don't want to do it, it's going to give you a routine at least of something. And it's going to help with your mental well-being, like that routine. Like, even though you don't think school's going to help with mental well-being, but the routine of it will. Because what's going to happen if you don't follow that routine and get your coursework done is that you're going to suffer in terms, and there's going to be stuff that we can put in place after, but you're going to be a little bit delayed in terms of your life, because there is going to be a life after this when this is all done too.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
This is not what we are for the rest of our existence. There is going to be a life back after this, and we need to ensure that you guys are in a position that you're going to be able to be in that life and not have to be like, oh, like I wish I kind of focused a little bit more when this all happened, because then now I'm behind the ball a little bit.
Totally. Well, and even like, like I've got that list of things that I want to get done every day, and they're so simple, right? Like shower before work. But, like achieving those things every day, it helps me feel better, right? And it's the same for school, like if I've got an assignment to do and then I get it done, like it just feels this like little endorphin rush, right? Because I've accomplished something. And I think it's really important that even if we're stuck at home, that we have to give ourselves things to be proud of, things to accomplish so that we can keep going. Because otherwise, what are we doing? We're just existing, right?
Yeah. And it's all part of like kind of like a therapy model, right? It's like that idea of there's things that we can't control, whether it's in our life, the world, what have you. But if we can focus on those things that we can control, it actually allows us to feel like we're in control of our lives a little bit, right? Like,
Totally. Yeah.
we're not in control of COVID. We can't, we don't know how it's going to affect us. Like, are we going to get it? Are we not going to get it? Like, could be, but like, how can we control that? It's like, well, do the stuff they're talking about, like social distancing. If you have to go out, do it like as quickly as you can and reasonably, right? Don't be going out all the time. Wear a mask or wear bandanas or make makeshift masks, whatever you can do. Wash your hands, like all those things. It's just, those are things that you can control, right?
Totally. Yeah, totally. Right. And like, I don't know, like you can see my sewing machine back there.
Yeah.
So part of what Brennan's dealing with at work is, so he has to wear a mask all the time now, every day. Not one of those fancy ones that they're running out of, just the regular one. Yeah. And I know it's killing his ears, right? So I don't know, I kind of felt bad for him. So I made like a bandana kind of yesterday with like buttons on it, like a headband, so we could hook it into that. So that's like, I know he's struggling with just like some of the changes there, right? But I'm trying to do my little part to make it nicer for him, So I think at some point I'll start sewing masks for people, but like, because there's nothing else I can do, right? I'm staying at home, and that's me doing my part, staying at home, and maybe if I can make some masks, that's something.
Definitely. And I think another kind of big message is just like, feel how you need to feel, right? You don't, if there's days you want to feel like you want to be down, then have those days, right? The key is to not like turn one day into 2 days to 2 days into 3,
don't live there.
Like, but if you need a day where you're just like, you know what, I don't want anything, I just want to be sad, then be sad, because like you're allowed to have that. There's no reason why you need to be strong during all this, but the idea is to like, have that day, have that moment, or whatever that moment is, have it, feel it, live it, let it out, and then all right, it's gone, and now I need to move forward from it, right?
This is like a time that might be like, might bring up old stuff, And it's probably because it's so stressful living in the present, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this is not a bad time to process things, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Yeah,
you
though. I
know,
mean, if you never had the ability to know how to self-reflect, well, now is the perfect time to learn how to self-reflect on things, right?
totally,
You
right?
know, maybe there's something in your life that has always bothered you, but you've never been able to reflect on it and be like, oh, okay, maybe I did have some influence on it being like this, or whatever, right? And
Yeah,
I think right now too is a perfect time to make amends with who you need to make amends with. Also, like it's just this is a
yeah,
reset, like that's how I really look at it as like a societal, cultural, almost reset for people or opportunity, right?
yeah,
And we may all go back to being our typical selves when this is all done, right? But I hope for a lot of people there's a lot of growth out of it too, you know?
yeah. Even if for like a few moments we can be better, you
Yeah.
know, be who we want to be, right?
Yeah. And just I think for me it's and whatever is helping you get through it, right? I think this is like a big thing we all, it's this is a taboo subject to always talk about in the Indigenous world, but there's people that in our world of Indigenous people that have Christian or whatever faith, and you know what? Who cares? Like allow it, like
If it's
as
helping
long
you
as
through,
yeah, if
you
there's
know,
idea of kindness, like if at the end of it is like your faith is telling you to be kind, or if you follow more teaching based stuff and ceremony stuff, and just be kind and be kind to each other, like yeah, for my parents, like they've been a lot of praying and stuff, right? And who am I to judge? If it's helping them, it's helping them, right? And even like there's moments when like in the kitchen, and as much as I don't enjoy gospel music, I'll put it on for my mom because it
that's
helps her,
nice.
right? Like
Yeah,
it's helping her, it helps her, right? And hey, I get it. There's a real historical issue with what happened with religion and communities, right? But there's still some grandmas and grandpas up there that's their thing, you know?
yeah,
And I think sometimes the younger generation, we're so goddamn stubborn in how we are to be like, the atrocities, the atrocities. It's like, yeah, but that's still their thing. We got to respect it, right? For them, that's all
yeah.
they know. But you imagine you being like a 60-plus-year-old person and suddenly being told like thing that you've kind of been indoctrinated to believe is like wrong now, right? It's
Mm.
you know,
Well, I just think that like this is really a time when everybody's going to be drawn on their value system, you know,
yeah,
whether it's Christianity or traditional ways or just like the way that you see the world. Like
yeah,
this is the time when people really have to kind of lean into that, and I think everybody is, whether or not they are actively thinking about it, right?
yeah.
But it's part of how we process things, you
Hmm.
know. So I mean, if it's part of how we like make sense of the world, so I mean, whatever your core beliefs are, this is when it's all coming out because there's no filter to it right now, you
Yeah,
know.
and if it's just going to help you to get through, then by all means, whatever it is, use it. As long
Totally.
as your core belief isn't going out killing people, like, then if that's a belief, then don't go do it. But yeah,
Yeah.
whatever it is, just just lean into it and use it to be a support, right? Who knows?
Hmm.
Maybe even for some people, they ever prayed before and or they haven't in years and they do it. That's totally cool, and don't be ashamed of it, right?
Yeah,
There's
whatever it
just
takes to get through, if
yeah,
it's like a healthy
exactly.
coping mechanism,
Yeah.
ain't
As if
nothing
it's
wrong
not
with that.
if it's not hurting anyone, if you're not pushing what works for you onto others, then let it be. Let it exist.
Hmm.
Like we need to be kinder. That's like what needs to come out of this. We need to be kinder to each other.
Yeah, yeah.
100%. And I
I
don't know
hope
if
that
it's
will be.
creating it right now, right? Because I think some people are so scared of each other also. But rightfully so, right? Gotta keep our distance. But like we're all in this together. We're all vulnerable, right? That's
Yeah.
actually funny. I went to the supermarket and I got into an argument. I posted it on our teams. Like I said, I almost got in a fight at the supermarket. But this guy like just made me so mad. And I had my headphones on. I was just gonna ignore it. And he was just like, huh, they want us to like blah 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 about this. Like more people die from the flu. And I was like, just let it be, Dan. And he kept talking. He's like, government trying to control us, make our money invaluable. And I was like, I'm like, yo, you think this is real? Like, you don't think this is real? Nope. He's like, more people die from the flu. I was like, my girl works in the hospital. I'm telling you, this is real. And he's like, no, it's not. Government's just. I was like, yo, you got money in your pocket? He's like, yeah. I was like, so you're saying it's not valuable? Is that, but you're gonna go pay? Like, and I was just in my head, I was like, what am I doing? But it was just like a moment of like seeing all the news in the States and the Trumpisms and all this. Like, it's like I can't do it anymore. And after I was like, oh man, I should have lost my cool like that.
Oh man, it's tough, right? And it's tough when you see like misinformation. Oh my God. Well, I like, so I used to live in another province and, some of the, like, very conservative. And so some of the posts that I seen coming out of there, like trying to tie COVID to Epstein, to 9/11, to, you know, like everything, just trying to connect all these dots that just like don't exist, you know, like those connections are just like, and it doesn't even make sense, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like it's so, I find it so incredibly frustrating, the misinformation that's out there right now. Like I don't know, like I don't use it too often, but my background is in health. Like that's what I studied when I was in school the first time. And so I just find it so frustrating to just see all these conspiracy theories. So yeah, there is like a little bit of catharsis in like telling people that they're so wrong and like misinformed.
Yeah.
But like grand scheme of things, nothing you say is really going to change their minds anyways, right? So, and I really think that that's a symptom of fear and like really distrust of others, you know?
Yeah.
So it's, I mean, I've seen so many stories coming out both sides, like people that are very, very fearful. And so, you know, that's where you get those hoarders, you know, like that's where you get people that are very angry. I think it really all stems from fear. And then, you know, you see all sorts of stories of like, I don't know, people going grocery shopping for that grandma that lives on their street, you know, not their grandma, but somebody's grandma, you know, and people just kind of helping each other out. Like, just try to focus on that a little bit more.
100%. How's your TP supply? You good?
Yes, it is good.
Yeah. You know, like I actually was hearing something. I was listening to a podcast last night. They're talking about it. They're like saying like, oh, like some, you know, I don't know, some professor or whatever, some researcher talking about like, oh, this is all part of like pandemic fears, and you know, that's just a offset reaction is the toilet paper. And then someone else says like, actually, no, it's not. Like it is, but it isn't either. Like you actually think about it. If you're at home, you are going to use more toilet paper because you don't go to the you're not at work using their toilet paper. You're not at a restaurant using their toilet paper or someone else's house. Like it's like you are actually using more toilet paper being at home.
You are, yeah.
Just like you don't need to go crazy over it, you know, like it's
No.
But I guess hey, if that's your if that rationalizes you, makes you feel better, I guess by all means go ahead. Just let it be like 10% of the population, so there's enough for all of us, right?
Yeah, like be reasonable. Think of other people when you're doing that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my in-laws have a Costco membership, so the other day, Brendan's mom Sherry was over at Costco and texted us to see what we wanted, and surprise, she also got us toilet paper. So
nice. I did a Costco run. I did a Costco run yesterday, actually. It was.
How was it?
So this is my second Costco run. So I did one 2 weeks ago, and this is the second one. And the first time I went with my mom because she needed to get out. This was her first time was out, and she wanted to go in. And after, I was just really upset. I said, "Mom, like I'm not happy that you want to come here." And I didn't like how it was structured inside. Like it was too many people. People like just not realize it's like, yo, like personal space. People like just wait, like. You can look at the meat after we're done looking at the meat. You know, if we're done in this, you know, like don't everyone go in the same aisle. So I was really unhappy and like, maybe I kind of was a little bit too hard on her. But it was out of fear. Like I just was really I had a lot of fear in that moment. Like I just remember my anxiety was at an all-time high while I was in there, and because I was just worried for her, right? Um, and I said, "I'm sorry, mom. Like, like sorry I got upset at you. Like it wasn't because I'm mad at you. I was upset because just I was upset at everyone, right?
Yeah.
I want you to be okay, and I didn't like that. So yesterday we went and she came with me, but she was like, I'm just gonna sit in the car. I just needs a car ride. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And then we got there and it was lined up all the way. So if you know the one on Wellington, it was lined up all across to the entrance to the end of the store and then down like the backside.
Oh my
And I was
God.
like, oh my God, but we needed to go there. Like we needed like meats and we needed all those kind of stuff. And I was like, this is my bratty self. I said, well, I'll see you in 3 hours. But actually it was a lot better. Like they're even though it looks visibly like a long line, it actually moves pretty quickly. And they do it so much better. Like they're only allowing so many people into the store at once. They hit that number, they all go out, then they'll let more in. And so I was in line probably about, it was like probably at the end of the line at the back of the store on the backside, probably in line for like a half hour to get in.
Oh, that's not bad.
But it was nice to be outside and like, it was really sunny yesterday. So I was out in the sun,
Oh,
I
jealous.
was on the phone with Melissa. And then, went inside, got what I needed. And, we're bougie here. So we don't like using Kirkland brand toilet paper. So, they had Charmin in and I was like, yes, Charmin.
Sherry brought me the other day. I'm pretty much living the dream right now.
Yeah. And then I was going to get Melissa one and her mom, and it just said one per customer. I was like, shit, I got to come back. Right. But, yeah, like it was, I was a lot happier with how is it perfect? No, but it's good as enough. And, I wearing bandanas and stuff. And, Liz actually is making me mask. I got to go pick up later today. Just so, hey, like, is it ideal? Is it, I think this is just something we're going to have to get normalized to as well. Is like the idea of wearing masks. Like there's places all over the world that have been doing it for years, right?
Totally.
And you actually look at the numbers, the ones that have been very, stuck to their guns about it, they're the ones that are like not having crazy outbreaks,
Yeah. Well, I think like the important thing is that if you're going to wear a fabric mask, is like you put it on when you leave the house, you keep it on the whole time. Yeah. Don't be like, scratching your face under the mask or nothing like that. Yeah. And then when you come home, you throw it right in the wash. That's the big thing. Like, don't be crumpling 100%. It up and putting it in your pocket or put it in your purse. Like, don't do stuff like that because then it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Contaminating all sorts of stuff.
And then, too, when I'm going out, when I get home, I change also, like out of the clothes I was in, just to be safe. So.
Said I live in an apartment building, right? So like, when I go out into the hallway to put my garbage down the chute, I've touched like 3 door handles, right, to do that. So,
but then that's part of the washing your hands, right? You just that's why we gotta do it, right?
Yeah, I come in, I shut the door with my hip, but I'm walking through the house like this till I get to wash my hands, right? Yeah. So just one of those things.
It's just all those doing those things to be, precautionary about things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a little bit of a inconvenience, but this is and for younger folks, right? This is they've talked about it doesn't affect you, but you're starting to hear about younger folks that it's affected badly, right? So just like just got to be smart about it. All right, I think there's a few more minutes, and what are some things you miss? I guess what are some big things that you miss that you can't wait to start to do when this is kind of goes back to normal routines of life?
So I'm not a big fan of the winter. Like I'm just cold constantly. So I love just sitting in the sun. Yep. Just like that's my thing. I just love it. And my balcony, I only get morning sun just because of the direction that I'm facing. So I just cannot wait to like sit in the grass and like sit in the sun and just like not not worry about how close somebody else is or like,
Yeah.
Anything like that. That's like
Yeah,
one
100%.
big thing. And then another thing is, so like me and Brennan have been pretty good about not ordering food at all.
Yeah.
And then last night we broke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have always felt like I'm pretty in control of like what I eat. That's not like a thing that I've struggled with too much. But like the last few days I've been like a little bit out of control ragey when I think about food, because like I just want something like greasy so badly. Like so badly that it hurts. I get disappointed every time I open my fridge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So like I can't wait to just like go out and get like a burger, because that's
What'd
not
you
something
order
that
then
I
last
cook.
night?
Oh, you're gonna be so disappointed in me.
Yeah. If
I know
you say
you
a
are.
Harvey's, I'm gonna be. It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Oh God! Why did you just Uber Eats Five Guys?
Yeah, I don't know. It was late. Really wanted a milkshake.
Yeah.
See, Brennan really wanted a milkshake, and I wanted some fries.
They got good milkshakes there. They do. They're pretty thick. I'll give them that.
Yeah, that was the main thing.
There's like a sidebar previous conversation about this to everyone listening. Like we're talking about food, and then everyone's like, "Oh, I love like Harvey's hamburgers and all this," and I was like, I don't even know if I want to consider you guys friends if you're saying Harvey's hamburgers are good. But shout out to Harvey's hamburgers. If you want to hook us up with some coupons, like we're down. We definitely.
Well,
I'll eat your filler burger any day if it's free.
I don't know. I like me some Harvey's.
Except the Harvey's hamburgers on campus at Fanshawe is the greatest Harvey's to ever exist. I just got to throw that out there. Just so the college doesn't reprimand me for saying Harvey's is trash.
Oh man, just a little bit of job stability there.
So how was it then? What did you order? Tell me what your order was then last night.
Okay, so got an original with cheese, which is just one patty.
Yeah.
And then lettuce, tomato, and then I like chipotle on it, like a little bit of spice. And then a big fry, I think it's like a large fry, and then a strawberry shake.
Nice. What'd Brennan get? He
got Angus burger.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
man, I am food deprived. Even this crappy Harvey's has sounded so. My stomach is rumbling right now.
Oh my Lord. Yeah. So he got an Angus burger with I think pickles and.
Their pickles actually are legit. They're
pickles
good.
And tomatoes, I think, and mayo. That's what he got.
Yeah.
No cheese, and then he got onion rings and a strawberry shake.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
You know what? I do like their poutine's pretty legit.
They have really solid poutine. I almost got it last night, but we'd already had dinner, so it was really
I haven't ate out yet. I'm in small town, right? Nothing to really eat out.
Good for you.
I actually my clothes are getting looser on me, so that's another big thing I'm learning is eating out is terrible. Saving me money.
Yes.
I'm losing like inches and stuff, but like I'm getting out of shape though. Like I think I'm getting smaller, but I'm also not in shape. Like I walk up the stairs, I'm like, I'm like, what is going on? Like I'm out of shape. And so that's another thing too, is like I want to probably start implementing my routine as like a workout something, right? Got a buddy who's he's master in kinesiology, and so he's like kind of like my personal trainer and stuff. He always cuts me a deal and stuff, and so he sent me over like home workouts and stuff, and I haven't done them yet just because it's so hard to kind of get into the routine of it. But that's another thing I want to start when it starts warm up a bit, is going for walks, jogging, and just kind of somewhat of a at home workout routine.
Yeah,
my gym's closed too, right? So.
Yeah, I think they all are. I mean, like I had a membership at the Fanshawe gym. So I mean that's closed obviously, but so I ordered a yoga mat. And I just like push my coffee table out the way and stand in front of my TV and just,
Yeah.
I don't know, if you're a beginner at yoga, there's like a really good YouTube channel called Yoga with Adrienne.
Nice.
And I don't know, she's good. I can follow it, but I was just finding, especially just like sitting around in my tiny little apartment, sitting on the couch, sitting down to do work, like, man, it was messing up my back. So this is how I'm staving that off too.
Nice.
Yeah, not every day, although I should, but
yeah. And then what are some other things that you're missing?
Just like seeing people, you know, like I don't know, like I miss seeing my nephews, and I miss, you know, seeing my in-laws, and I miss like, just like the normalcy of like going to a friend's house on a weekend and like having a couple drinks and, you know, playing a game or throwing darts or whatever, you know, like,
I get that. I had on Friday I had Skype beers
nice.
with my brother out west, right? And it's just to kind of create, you know, something, you know, just talk and stuff. And that's what I've been doing too, is just connecting to different people. And my buddy Corey from the college too, we talk every couple of days on Zoom and stuff like that. It just like we need to really support each other during this time. So I want to get kind of a routine going in terms of workout, you know, get a little bit more in shape, keep up the thing. And I really see, like, you know, I think another thing too, it's like when I go back to work, it's like, oh, maybe I can just make lunch because it's way easier. It's not as hard as I think, right? Like, it's like, I'll have an egg salad sandwich today. And like, it's all right that I don't need to have something so, you know, hearty at lunch all the time, you know?
Totally. Less deep fried stuff, honestly.
Yeah, like I think we are going, I've been snacking on chips and stuff. Like I will say that, but like, hey, I need some kind of comfort food in all this madness, though. Too, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing too.
But man, like when this is all done, and like this is another thing. Even when we are probably done in Canada, like I still can't fully go into my routine because part of my routine is always going to Michigan. Like that's like something we've done my entire life, and so
it seems like they're gonna have it longer than us. So
I know. And I ordered. So another thing. So I missed was Eden, and I'll go through my list and I'll explain my big plan after this is all done. What I want.
Okay, I'm excited.
Going out and eat. I missed that. Going out to the movies. If there's good movies playing. Seeing. You know what? Like actually, this is not much different from. I am actually kind of a homebody. I don't go out much. Like I'll talk to people. Like, you know, most of my socializing is at work and stuff. And when I go home, I'm just cool if not. Like I'm just cool chilling with my girl and her family or my family, and that's kind of like, I guess that's one part that's missing, is just having Melissa and her family interact with mine. And what's another one? Yeah, going to the States is like a big one. Shopping. I know it contradicts exactly what I said, the value of money and not, but like I miss just going to the mall and like people watch. Like that's what I like to do. Like I'm like a weirdo that people watches and in public settings, but I miss it because I don't get it now. And I did order some stuff, but I ordered them in the States, so I have an American credit card, but I can't get them until this is all done. Like I actually didn't get them shipped to the PO box in the Michigan. I got them shipped to my boy's house, and so like I gotta wait till this is all over to get it, or figure out some way to like maybe him send it to Canada.
Get him to mail it, right?
Yeah. Or like
so
as soon as they lift it, if they lift up the ban, like I'm going straight to his house, picking it up, and just going straight home and not stopping at all. Like it should be like at least like, you know, I mean, there's some dope hoodies I got. Like I missed them. Like I need them.
Oh man.
But like food wise, oh my god, like I'm so
Tell me
deprived.
your plan. I know you have a big plan for this.
So like when this is all said and done, I'm probably gonna book a room in like just Michigan, like, you know, not even like Auburn Hills. Like there's a spot I always me and my family, we always go to, just kind of overnight trips and stuff. We'll go there. But I'm gonna book there for a few days just to do all my my eat-in spots. So like the big one is like I need a Jets Pizza. Jets Pizza is like a Michigan. It's all kind of over Midwest and stuff, but they have like this Detroit style deep dish. It's a square pan, But their bacon chicken ranch is like unreal pizza. It's like their ranch is like the best. Like if you like ranch and you get it from like Kraft or like any of that, like that's trash. Like it's complete trash. Like this ranch is just like, oh my God, like I would drink it if I could. Like it is so good. Like, yeah, I know. Like with a little bit of bread or something, but it is the best ranch. I want a Jets pizza, chicken bacon ranch. And then burger wise, like I'm feeling on burgers. Like I need like we cook burgers here, but not like, you know, like a burger at a burger spot, you know? So there's this place called Fuddruckers. And like, oh, like it is literally the best burger. I'll put my life on the line to say it's the best burger I've ever tasted. And you want to know how I know it's the best burger? Anytime I eat another burger, I say like, yeah, it's good, but it's no Fuddruckers. Like that's what we say in our house. So they got that, and they have this like you order your burger, you get fries, and you add your toppings. They have this topping bar and stuff. And then there's like this is like the dope thing, and it's probably terrible for you, but they do cheese sauce, like, and it's like unlimited. So you just get like those little kind of, you know, those like ketchup pack. It's a little bit bigger, and you just put a bunch of, you just do like 8 or like 80 of them, just you know, and then you dip your fries, put on your burger. That's one of them. I'm so hungry right now, man. I'm gonna die just thinking about this. Okay, and then all right, I'm out. Like I feel like I'm losing control right now. I'm just like so excited thinking about all this food. And then another one is all right. So there's twofold. So it's Mexican Village. I need to go downtown Detroit for Mexican Village. But there's another spot called Evie's where they have like the best tamales I've ever had. And their menudo is unreal. And I was craving it before all this coronavirus stuff. So like I'm really craving it now. And like Evie's is like a dope spot. Yo, shout out to Evie's. Like hook me up when I go there. They always do hook me up. Me and my boy, we actually used to travel when I was in like university. I worked at Champs in the States. We would like just travel all around Michigan to the different shoe spots. So they all thought we were actually like legit brothers, even though he's like light skinned and I'm native and I'm 6'5" and he's like 5'8". Like I don't know why they thought we were brothers, like legit, like blood brothers, but they did.
That's nice.
Maybe just because we were so brotherly, like they just got the vibe, right? But they, first of all, he's light skinned, I'm native. They didn't think he was black or I was native. They thought we were Puerto Rican. So at Evie's particularly, they're always thought like they started calling us the Puerto Rican brothers that love our food. And so this one time Clay was like, he went there without me, and I was so hurt by that. But they literally asked him like, "Where's your brother at?" And he's like, "Huh? You know, you and your brother always used to come here." He's like, "Oh, Dan." He's like, "Yeah." She's like, "We always remember you guys walking in like, oh, there's those Puerto Rican brothers, man. They must really like our food or whatever." And so that's the spot I want to go to, Evie's. I think that's kind of it. Like Evie. Oh, and I got to go get a Coney dog in the States too. Like Coney's, Michigan Coney's, or what's up? The chili, Lafayette particular. That's like the dope spot.
I have to keep that in mind. I'm always looking out for a good chili dog.
Yeah. Oh, like, you ever have a Detroit Coney before?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, you're missing out. You are missing out. Yeah. When this is all done, maybe I'll bring the department over. We'll just go have Coney dogs. And then
why not, you know?
There's one more. What am I thinking about?
What's your rib place?
Yes, thank you. Boneyard. That's it.
I was waiting for that. Yeah. One. That was Boneyard the one I was waiting for. The
best Boneyard is the best ribs I've ever had. And like, you know why I know like Boneyard's the best? Because all the brothers go there. And if all the brothers go there, you know you got a good rib place. And it's owned by these I think they're Albanian or like Eastern Bloc people or whatever, but like they're like family to us now. Like they used to have the spots in Dearborn Heights, Telegraph, and I kind of forget, but you know, it's over there. It's you got to go deep too if we're going over. Like when we go there, it takes about like an hour 20 to get there.
That's a commitment.
Yeah, it's worth it though. Like it's the best. I would travel 12 hours for these ribs if I had to. But it's so good. I do that, and but so they used to have this spot closer in Utica, and they opened a Boneyard, another restaurant there, and then they didn't close. They closed up the business, but they still leased it out to other places. But like the one brother noticed that we always went there, but we went to the original spot first, and then we, after they closed, went back there, and he's like, "Hey, like you guys used to go to the one in Utica, like yeah, like we had it here first." And he's like, "Yeah, I remember." He's like, "Oh, you guys are following us? Even you guys are willing to drive out here?" Or like, "Yeah." So then every time we go in there, they're always just like, "Yo, these are like one of our favorite customers," and they know we're from Canada too, so that's like another level of it. But yeah, but I'm always
shows
like,
a real commitment.
yeah. The two brothers, like I'm always telling them like, "Yo, if you ever want to franchise us out to Canada, I'm telling you, man, we will make a killing. Like these like salt and pepper, like Canadians won't know what hit them with this. Like they'll think this is crack. Like it's so good." They're like, "Oh my God," like because the ribs in Canada are trash. Like, oh, they really are.
Oh man.
So that will complete my big Michigan trip of food. Yeah. But a spot
you're
I
gonna
really
need a weekend.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I'm taking I'm probably gonna do a 4-day vacation just to go eat. But locally in London, like I miss T&T's, like the Vietnamese and Thai food place. TK's.
I miss TK's, yeah.
And Shawarma Boys over on just right by the college on Dundas there. Like it is like, I'm craving shawarma so bad. So those are like kind of like the 3 big spots that I want to go to.
Paramount is my shawarma place in the city, and it's oh yeah, they know me and Brennan there.
Yeah,
we like bring all sorts of people there.
Guy sometimes, like I you'll like it. It's good, like the mixed shawarma, and they like at Paramount. What kind of pita do they use? Is it like kind of like the store-bought pita? Or
no, they make their own on a stone.
Okay.
And I've never had better pita than at Paramount. Like it comes out, they bring it out in a basket and it's all puffed up like a balloon, and then you have to pop it and all the steam comes out. Like it's incredible.
All right, I'll have to try it sometime. I'll try that. You gotta try shawarma, guys, because they make theirs homemade too.
Okay.
Yeah, and they're like massive. They're like this big, the pitas. Like they're so big. It's good.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's it. I think that was pretty good. Thanks. Is there anything more else you want to share or anything?
No, just thanks for having me. It was fun.
Oh no, thanks for coming on. And it was good to catch up with you. And and everyone out there, just be safe, be smart, #wash your hands, all that stuff. And if you ever need any help, if whether academic or even mental well-being or anything like that, you can always reach me, Chris, or anyone at the center, and we're here and waiting to help you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, awesome. All right, Nadjiwon, everyone, take care.
See ya.